Hey you guys, so I'm going to be doing the outline nails that you were all asking me to do a video on in my last video. Okay, so as you can see, I'm putting down the bead and I put it like right at the cuticle and I start working down with it. It's all about like manipulating the acrylic to make the shape that you want it to make. So in a second, you'll see that I'm like shaping the sides. And on the side is obviously where I'm going to put the outline color. And then once I stretch this bead as long and as far as I can, then I'm going to add another bead, like right on top of like where it started lightening up, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to brush it back, and I'm going to still like keep moving it down, but still shaping it as I'm moving it down. So at the end, you'll see like how I shape it on the sides, and then at the tip, I'll like push it forward, and if I have to, I'll like cut some of it off with my brush. So as you can see, it's like super simple, but you do have to like have a good acrylic to work with. So I'm using Valentino's Perfect Nude. It's like my favorite nude color. And it's very like workable. It's not like super runny, and it's not like super like dry either, I guess. And I just add as many beads as I need to. Like, I don't really care how many beads it takes me. I'm not like really trying to keep it down to a minimum of like 1 or 2 or 3 beads whenever I do this kind of design. I'm just like, you want to make sure that you make a good apex too whenever you do these nails, because whenever you cap your acrylic, obviously like if you're like missing some depth or like some like definition to your nail, you can make it up whenever you cap the nail. But whenever you do this design, since you're just going to add the color and then file, you want to make sure you have a good apex. And usually whenever I do this design, or I have done it in the past, because I've never done like a full set, this was my first time doing a full set of this design. And usually whenever I do this design, like on a like freestyle or something, I will just like do the nude, put the color, but I'll put the color like very neat to where I don't have to file it, like it's like perfect almost, so that I can cap it with clear, so I can make sure my apex is there. But since like on this video, like it was a full set, I'm just like, I told myself I was just going to like do it how you're supposed to. So as you can see, I'm just like bringing it down, working with it, like shaping it, like literally you have to manipulate the acrylic. And as you can see, I just cut off some of the acrylic at the tip with the brush. All you do is like put your brush like vertically, and you just chop it off. I don't know if you guys saw that. You can rewind it if you didn't. And through this video, you'll see me like flipping her hand around a lot. And that's, sorry, the camera's shaking. I know, it's so annoying. You'll see me flipping her hand around a lot, so I can make sure that the nude is like in the middle and it's not like slanted. So in a second, you'll see me add some more nude on the side of this nail, on the right side, because it was kind of crooked. So you just want to make sure you just always look at it like from like this. Look at it like this and flip their hand around and make sure everything looks straight. Okay, so for this finger, I'm gonna have it in real time so you can see exactly what I'm doing, if that's like easier for you guys. So I'm just gonna put the bead near the cuticle, try to make it flush to the cuticle, patting, patting. Got some on the side, so I'm just swiping it off, just patting. And like on the first bead, like I don't try to make it like perfect, if that makes sense. Like I'm not trying to build the apex with the first bead that I put down. I'm just trying to get the like starting point of the, what can I say? I'm starting to get the starting point of where I'm gonna put the next bead and start building the shape, like the inner shape. I guess you can call it a rectangle. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just patting it, patting it, patting it, shaping it as I go down. It's very important that you shape the acrylic as you're patting it down and moving it towards the tip of the nail. Shaping it. It's really easy. Just put your brush on the side of the acrylic, and if you're working with a good acrylic, it will be easy to move and manipulate. I wouldn't like recommend maybe doing this with Glam and Glits. Glam and Glits tends to be a little bit too runny, at least for me. I wouldn't do this with the Glam and Glits. Like, I do use Glam and Glits for the color part, but definitely not for the like inner part. And I know you guys can see my ugly ass middle finger. I hurt it really bad on my birthday. And as you guys know, if you hit your nail really hard whenever you have on acrylics, this can happen. And it's all better now. Now that I'm like doing the voiceover, it's all better now. My thumbnail is still really hurt, but it's getting back to normal. It might take another 2 months before you guys see me have nails on. Okay, so I added another bead, and as you can see, I had to add it because I needed to make the tip of the rectangle-ish thing. So I'm like, I don't know how I would explain this, but you kind of have to let the acrylic get kind of on the drier side, like so that it's really easy to manipulate into the shape that you want it to be. So that's why like I'm moving really slow. And this is just like my technique. I'm sure there's somebody else that does this so much easier and so much faster. But I don't even do this design often, so it's really like new to me. And I'm not just learning it because like I've done it a few times, but I would definitely say I'm not, or I haven't mastered this technique or this design. As you can see, I'm just adding another bead to really make sure I have a good apex so that my client's nail doesn't break. Because if you don't have an apex, like probably like 8 times out of 10 the nail will break if they hit it. Like if you have a client that doesn't hit their nails a lot, or if they have really short nails, maybe their nail won't break, or it's not even a maybe, their nails won't break as easy. Okay, now for this part, if you really want the shape and the lines to look really crisp, you would go in with your file and file the sides of the nude part, or whatever color you're putting in the middle. You want to file the sides so that whenever you put the color onto the outer sides, and then whenever you go in with your e-file, the lines are really straight and really crisp. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with a color. This is Likeabossnailco Acrylic. It is a color. What color is this? Oh my god, I can't think of the name. I'm gonna put it down below. But as you can see, like, I'm literally just putting the color on the sides. You do not have to be neat at all with this unless you're gonna do the technique that I explained, that I do sometimes earlier, like whenever you cap it with the clear. You do not have to be neat with this because you're gonna go back in with your e-file, and all of the acrylic that got onto the nude part is going to come off. That's why you have to make sure you have the apex there, because you're going to be doing kind of a lot of filing. So as you can see, I'm just putting the acrylic, just shaping it, making the where I put my acrylic really crisp and just shaped well. That's really how I can explain it. Just shape it. Make sure you have it covering all the way down. So as you can see, I'm about to go down again with the acrylic. With another bead, I'm gonna put it like towards right there, like towards the end, because there's like space right there too. You want to make sure you get it, all of it. I know this color might be a little bit hard to see, so whenever I do the next color, I'll explain again exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just going to put the bead there and I'm just going to drag it down. And really all you're doing with this design is filling in the empty spaces. Whenever you come in with the color, you're literally just, sorry, the camera's shaking, oh my gosh. You really just have to fill in the empty spaces with the color that you're putting in. And then once you fill it in, you just want to kind of pat it in. As you can see how I'm doing here, pat it in. You don't have to do this part where I'm like brushing it on the side. You don't have to do that part because, like I said, you're going to go back in with your e-file anyway. But it's just kind of a habit because I'm usually used to making this design super neat so that I can just cap it with clear, because I usually don't just go back in with the e-file because doing it with the clear is just what's easier for me. But I really wanted to show you guys a more effective way of how to do this, and maybe like a faster way, because obviously if you do another step and add clear, you're just wasting time And you really don't want to waste time whenever you're doing somebody's nails, because obviously if you have somebody coming, you don't want to keep them waiting. So as you can see, I'm still just putting in the color, packing it down. And after I do all of the nails with the color, you'll see me come back in with more color and add it to more of like towards the center, because I wanted to make sure that once I came back in with the e-file, the color still showed quite a bit and it was like still like really nice looking. Because as you can see, the color for this finger wasn't really like standing out to me. I'm not really sure like if you guys understand what I'm saying. But I just came back in with more color to make sure that the color was nice and it wouldn't just disappear whenever I came back in with the e-file. Another thing that you'll be able to notice while I'm doing this is you can really see the different consistencies of these powders. Like on the last one that I was just using, it was a Valentino powder. On the ring finger, that was a Valentino powder. On the middle finger, the one I'm using right now, is a Vanessa nails powder. And as you can see, like the Valentino one was kind of more like on the drier side, but not too dry. And then the Vanessa nails one is kind of like super like runny, like kind of liquidy, not super runny, but it's runny. I noticed this with her acrylics, but it's not like a bad thing. I think she does that so that you have enough time to manipulate your acrylic how you want it, and it doesn't just just dry out. Like, it's not fast drying. I'll say that it's not a fast drying acrylic or a fast drying like liquid or anything, because I'm using her liquid um in this video too. I usually use Young Nails liquid though. Sometimes I have used Valentino in the past, but I just wish that his liquids came in a bigger size. So right now I use Young Nails. I really like it, but honestly, most of the time I really can't even tell the difference between the liquids, and they say that you're not supposed to like mix brands and stuff, but I've never had any trouble with lifting because of mixing the brands. If I've ever had any trouble with lifting, it was because I was not prepping the nail right. When I first started doing nails, I would only use a sanding bit to remove the cuticle. And I also didn't know, like, I didn't know how or why I was using the sanding bit besides the fact that I was removing the shiny part of the nail. Like, I didn't know that there's literally like cuticle on the nail bed that you have to remove. So like, I've learned a lot, and you need to get a cuticle bit. Get a cuticle bit and remove the cuticle off of the nail bed, and that is going to ensure, and it's just going to make you feel better after you're done with somebody's set, to just know that you removed all their cuticle and you did everything for their nail not to lift. So yeah, definitely get a not a sanding bit, definitely get a cuticle bit. I really like ceramic cuticle bits. Those are my favorite. Okay, now the one that I'm going to be going in with now is a Glam and Glits color. And as you can see, it's super runny. Super runny. And I don't really know why most Glam and Glitz acrylics are like this. I will tell you guys, never ever 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 buy the color Karen by Glam and Glitz. That is literally the worst consistency ever. Like, the worst consistency acrylic I've ever used is the color Karen by Glam and Glitz. I absolutely hate it. I hate it so much. And I like Glam and Glitz, but some of their colors are just, the consistency is just so bad. So yeah, so as you can see, like, it's just super runny. I mean, it's not like I love this color, but I just wish there was like a way to make it less runny, like, because they have a lot of cute colors. Okay, so this is what I meant whenever I said I was going to go back in and add more color. Mainly to the tips, because I felt like the tips weren't prominent enough. I felt like they were just going to get lost, just like fade away whenever I started filing with the e-file. And I'm really just trying to make the tip of the nail very crisp. Like, that's the number one thing I will always say is, whenever you're doing just like a normal, like, regular set, always start towards the bottom. Like, I never do one bead method really unless I'm doing super short nails. Just always start towards the bottom of the nail. Like, do 2 bead method, 3 bead method, whatever you want to do. But if you start towards the bottom of the nail and you like shape it to the nail, like, your nails are just gonna look so much better because they're gonna be so crisp, like the acrylic is. Like, just trust me and do it. Okay, so now as you can see, I'm filing the nails, filing straight up and down, really. Like, that's how I shape all my nails. And then if I'm doing coffin, like I've told you guys before, I will go in and then start curving my file. So she wanted coffin nails, so I'm filing straight up and down, then I'll start curving towards the bottom. Okay, so now I'm going in with my drill bit. I always use a fine grit drill bit because that's just what I like to use. But you can use medium as well, doesn't really matter. Whenever I first started, I used medium, but I just found that I like fine more. Anyways, so you're going to go around the cuticle, obviously. You're going to want to file the most at the tip of the nail, like how I'm doing right here, because more than likely that's where most of the color is just going to like be at. And you want to file the sides as well. But as you can see, like, once I turn the nail to the side, there's still that apex there. So that one's done. Like, it was so easy. That's why I'm saying, like, this way, or this method, is more like better, like, whenever it comes to your time. But whenever I cap it with clear, it just makes me feel better about myself. So as you can see, I'm going underneath the nail, taking off any of the excess that's underneath, filing the sides, filing the sides, filing the tip, filing at the cuticle to make it flush to the cuticle, going underneath, getting any acrylic that was underneath the nail. Like, it's really, you're really just repeating yourself over and over and over again. So that nail's done. Like, it was that easy. So as you can see, I'm going over the tip first because that's usually where the acrylic's gonna be, like, all over the nude part, and then on the sides as well. Okay, so I didn't include me filing the pinky or the thumb on this video just because I thought like it was pretty straightforward. But as you can see, these are the nails all filed, and then this is the nails with the top coat, and I hope you guys really like this video.